Today's scripture reading is Matthew 24:36-44. But nobody knows when that day will come, not the heavenly angels and not the Son. Only the Father knows. As it was in the time of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Human One. In those days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage until the day Noah entered the ark. They didn't know what was happening until the flood came and swept them all away. The coming of the Human One will be like that. At that time, there will be two men in the field. One will be taken and the other one left. Two women will be at the grinding mill. One will be taken and the other left. Therefore, stay alert. You don't know what day the Lord is coming. But you understand that if the head of the house knew at what time the thief would come, he would keep alert and wouldn't allow the thief to break into his house. Therefore, you should also be prepared, because the Human One will come at a time you don't know. This is the word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God.
During the season of Advent, we're going to take a break from the story, and we'll resume on January 8th. Will you pray with me? God of glory, we know that you are coming at an unexpected hour. Come to us now in spirit and truth. Bring us into your presence and make us ready for your reign of peace. Let your word ring out from the mountains and your spirit shine forth in the earth, so that all may hear your teaching and all may do your will. Amen. There are many things for which we prepare. At the beginning of every school year, children, youth, and adults prepare by shopping for clothes and endless amounts of school supplies. Parents prepare for the birth of a child, searching for just the right name, buying diapers, clothes, bottles, furniture, and countless other necessities. We prepare for storms, ensuring we have enough water and food to last a few days. We prepare for weddings and retirement. While children are still in elementary school, parents began preparing them for college, stressing the importance of good grades. For months, retailers prepare for Black Friday. Consumers also prepare. Following the Thanksgiving feast, devoted shoppers sit at their tables preparing for their day of shopping, scanning advertisements, comparing prices, and making lists of what they will buy and where they will buy it. There are many things for which we prepare. Today is the first Sunday of Advent, which marks the beginning of a new year in the church. The term Advent means coming. And because it precedes Christmas, many times we misunderstand Advent to be only a time of preparing to celebrate the coming of baby Jesus. The primary focus of Advent, though, is on the second coming of Christ, when he comes to triumph over evil. For many, the holiday season is already in full swing. Christmas music is playing in the stores. There are parties to attend and gifts to be wrapped. It isn't unusual for us to spend all month preparing for this one day. Baking cookies, decorating the tree, hanging lights, and shopping. There are choir recitals, live nativities, and special worship services to attend. During this season of Advent, Christians may feel conflicted, torn between enjoying the festivities of the secular world and remembering that Christmas is much more than a holiday. It's one of the holiest days of the year. The passage we heard from the Gospel of Matthew doesn't bring great tidings of comfort and joy. They are words of caution. Christmas is a wonderful and joyous occasion, so why does the church begin the season of Advent with a text about the end of times and the second coming of Christ? It isn't easy talking about the end of the world as we know it when the rest of society is already celebrating Christmas. But the end of the world as we know it is what we are waiting for. We're preparing for God's goal of redemption and transformation for all creation as seen in the prophet Isaiah's vision, where one day all people will be drawn to that which their heart longs for, communion with God. People will search for God together, all nations streaming to where God is. It will be a time of unity, justice, and peace, a time when old wounds will be healed, a day when God's reign will be established for all humankind to see. Advent is the celebration of the promise that Christ will bring an end to everything that contradicts God's will for creation. That's the purpose of God coming into the world in the person of Jesus Christ. That baby who was born to Mary is the one who proclaims release to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, who lets the oppressed go free, where the lame walk, lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, and the dead are raised. Like many other people, we want to skip Advent and get right to Christmas. But Scripture tells us to slow down. It's not Christmas yet. First, we have to journey through Advent, a time of reflection, preparation, watching, and waiting. We remember Christ's first coming while we prepare for the second. We believe and we confess that Christ will come again, yet oftentimes we don't think that it could possibly happen in our lifetime. We think that we'll see the signs and then we'll get ready. In Matthew, Jesus compares the second coming to the flood that wiped out everyone and everything. He compares it to a thief in the night who comes unexpectedly, catching folks off guard. The angels nor Jesus himself knows when this will happen. Therefore, be ready, Jesus warns. Always be prepared for my coming. Watch. Watch. Whenever my oldest son and his family come to visit for Christmas, I want to know exactly when they expect to arrive, so I can have everything prepared for them. All of the beds will have freshly laundered sheets, and there'll be plenty of towels in the bathrooms. The refrigerator and the pantry will be stocked with the grandkids' favorite foods and snacks. The house will be decorated and all 13 stockings hanging on the fireplace. And then about an hour before their anticipated arrival, I continually go to the window and peer outside, watching for their van to pull into the driveway. I can't sit calmly and wait. I'm actively and eagerly anticipating their arrival. Watch. The passage from Matthew is meant to impress upon disciples the importance of being ready for Christ's return. But because we don't know when this will take place, as Christ's followers, we're to remain in a constant state of readiness. In the Gospel of Matthew, being ready means doing deeds of mercy, forgiveness, and peace. It's doing Christ's work during our time of waiting. Watch means not simply looking for, but being prepared for the coming of Christ. It's an active watching while we live faithfully. Although there are joyous celebrations happening all around us, it's important that we don't ignore the fact that there are many people who are hurting. People who are yearning for something deeper than gifts and parties. At this time of year, numerous people are painfully aware of this internal desire for something more. Christmas Day comes and goes, and their disappointment increases when they realize that the longing goes unfulfilled. Relationships remain broken. The grief of widows and widowers persists. Disease continues destroying mind and body. So what does it mean to be prepared and ready for Christ's return? It means doing Jesus' work while we wait. In Matthew chapter 25, we read, "Come, you that are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you." Even God prepares for those who are ready. "For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was naked, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you visited me." And the righteous will ask, "Lord, when did we do that for you?" And the king will answer, "Truly I tell you, just as you did it to one of the least of these who are members of my family, you did it to me." While we wait for the second coming, we are tasked with staying awake to the needs of others. Being ready means letting go of the anxiety that comes with society's expectations during this season. It means reconciling with a neighbor or a family member. It means letting go of any anger and hurt that has been built up over time. It means praying for those who annoy you. It means practicing peace when you're surrounded by chaos and rudeness. We are to do the things that Jesus wants us to do every day. Love one another. Care for those who are sick. And feed those who are hungry. When we are doing those things, we will be ready whenever he comes. Advent is a season of great tension. It expresses our hope and expectation for both the first coming and the second. It's a time when we give thanks for the gift that Jesus has given to all of humanity. And it's a time of eager anticipation for the future. It's a time for us to be open, allowing God to transform us more and more into Christ's likeness. Being ready does not include fear of the future, but thanksgiving for what Christ has already done and what he already offers us. As the days grow shorter and the darkness comes earlier, we light Advent candles to remind us that we do not face the darkness alone, because the light of the world has already come, shining his light into the darkest places of our lives, leading us forward, not in fear, but courage, peace, and even joy. Christ is coming to redeem and to save. Thanks be to God. Let us pray. Lord of hope, you bless our lives every day. It seems that every year the push for the commercial holiday expectations comes earlier and earlier. By the time we approach the true holy day, we are exhausted. Make us ready, Lord. Slow us down and help us find release from all the demands. Enable us to make decisions that will build hope and community. Help us to reach out to others with gifts of kindness and peace. Enter our hearts with a gentle reminder of the peace you bring. O God, you have called your servants to ventures of which we cannot see the ending, by paths we have not taken before, through dangers that are unknown to us. Give us faith to go out, not knowing where we are going, but only that your hand is leading us, and your love is supporting us through it all. It's in Christ's name we pray. Amen. I invite you to rise.